everyone. In the process of learning a subject, the most important and first step is to read the lesson, isn't it? In school, teacher makes us to read the lesson once before explaining. But at home, for the students who find it difficult to read the lesson and for the differently abled, we are introducing audio textbooks. These will help you to listen and read the lesson while going through the text. Our state government has provided us with PDF of the textbooks. So let us start reading the lessons. The third lesson under extensive reading in our textbook is The Magic of Silk. Let us start reading the lesson. This is a story from China. A long, long time ago, there lived an old woman in a hut in the forest. Her husband had been killed by a tiger some years ago. She was old and weak. Life was difficult for her and her daughter, Sue Mi. Sue Mi did all the cooking and cleaning herself. She also looked after the silkworms in their garden. The worms gave them fine thread to make beautiful silk. Sue Mi sold the silk to travelers in the village market. In this way, she got enough money to buy food and other things. One day, as Yumi was returning home, it started to rain heavily. It was getting dark too. Yumi ran into the first hut she saw. The door was open and there was no one inside. Is anybody in? She called loudly, again and again, but there was no reply. Yumi looked around the hut. The floor was very dirty. Bowls and pots were left unwashed. Sumi swept the floor and washed all the bowls and pots. By the time she had finished, the hut was as clean as a new one. By then, the rain had stopped too. I had better go home, she said to herself. Mother will be worried. As she walked out of the hut, she saw a strange old man. His long beard reached down to his waist. He looked about 100 years old. The old man looked at Sumi and smiled. Uncle, she said, I went into the hut because it was raining. I hope you don't mind. Not at all, young girl, replied the old man. His eyes fell on the clean floor and on the bowls and pots. Did you clean the hut for me? Yes, answered Sumi. Let me help you into the hut. The old man was very happy. You are a very kind girl, he said. I must give you a present. He took out a pair of scissors and cut off a little of his long white beard. He put it in a piece of old cloth, tied it up, and gave the bundle to her. Do not give it to anyone, said the old man. Open it when you get home. Sumi thanked him and went home. Her mother was very glad to see Sumi safe. Sumi told her mother about the old man. Sumi opened the bundle to show her mother the old man's white beard. To their surprise, they saw the finest silk thread in the whole of China. They began to weave the silk thread. When they had finished weaving, they had made the finest silk they had ever seen. They noticed that the bundle of silk thread still remained exactly the same size as before. News of their wonderful silk spread far and wide. The old woman and her daughter became famous and lived happily ever after.
Subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button.